Welcome to the 38th video in the series, Foundations of Communist Organizing. Today we'll be going over the 1950 piece by the ICP, Appeal for the Movement's International Reorganization, which I have subtitled, Uncompromising Internationalism, an Imperialist Conflict is Required for Proletarian Autonomy. In this text, the foremost class enemies of the international proletariat are identified as the most developed and imperialist nations, which can only be overthrown by violent proletarian revolution. Therefore, it calls for the maintaining of the correct stance in the burgeoning conflict between the USSR and the West. Aside from some pure historical revisionism about World War II, which it should have been aware of and was backed by a 1993 introduction, along with some frightfully unintelligent perspectives about tactics in the post-war period, it reminds the international communist movement to organize strictly on a class basis and denounce any group influenced by policies from any bourgeois state. It calls for a rejection of basing party tactics on the ethics of class society, and thereby any calls for peace between classes. The proletariat and the party must always keep their focus on the goal, no matter the conditions they are in, and organize in the aims of achieving that without being waylaid by any claims various bourgeois states put forward about moral superiority. At all times, the party must reject calls that lessen class conflict, or to ignore the unnecessarily inhumane character of capitalism, no matter how a given state seeks class collaboration between the proletariat and the bourgeoisie. To that end, the party should focus only on the working class, and not seek mass support via specifically classless or interclass demands. The class struggle must always develop, and the international objectives of the proletarian organization must be in tune with this development. Communists should not take sides in inter-imperialist conflicts, in order to maintain strict revolutionary defeatism in this period of imperialist capitalism. Any party center that does not follow the correct tactics of revolutionary defeatism, centering of the working class, rejection of class collaborationism, rejection of bourgeois moralism, or takes any associated action which does not increase class consciousness ideologically, organizationally, and materially in terms of its selection of timing and forms that party action takes, should be rejected by the rank and file and opposed viciously as enemies of the proletariat. And that's my summary of the 1950 piece by the ICP, Appeal for the Movement's International Reorganization. As usual, if you'd like to go over the quotations I derived this summary from, you can go into the description below and you'll find a link to this Google Doc. You will also find a link to United Marxist Pact Discord server if you'd like to talk about this or any other piece or anything at all regarding Marxism. We would love to have you there. Tomorrow we will be going over the 1951 piece by Bourgeois, Theory and Action in Marxist Doctrine. Thank you for joining me for today's topical summary, and I hope to see you then.